do the day will come when you can do the things that you want to do. Yeah, you want to do them. See, without self-discipline, success is not possible, period. So I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to say no when so many others say yes? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep working when so many of your friends are playing? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep going when so many others are stopping? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep fighting when so many others are throwing in the towel? Because if wow, you're doing without. And what that means is when your friends are begging you to go hang out, and you say no, because you're way too busy grinding hard to put yourself in position to win in your game of life. I love this quote from the late, great Zig Ziglar. He says, when you do the things you ought to do, when you ought to do them, the day will come when you can do the things that you want to do, when you want to do them. See, without self-discipline, success is not possible, period. So I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to say no when so many others say yes? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep working when so many of your friends are playing? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep going when so many others are stopping? I need you to ask yourself, do you have the strength to keep fighting when so many others are throwing in the towel? Because if you can answer yes to all of those questions, you are well on your way to joining the 1% club. You are well on your way to living the life of your dreams. So now is the time for you to hit the gym of your life and start exercising your self-discipline muscle. No more talk, no more excuses. From this moment forward, it's all about massive execution. Will there be days that you don't feel like it? Yes. Will there be days that you want to stop? Yes. Will there be days that you want to give up? Yes. Will there be days that you want to quit? Yes. Listen to me. Quitting is never an option. So get up and do it anyway. Because when you push yourself to do and you get started, you will be amazed at how all of a sudden you have the energy you need to get it done. Sometimes you have to trick yourself and say, I'm just going to spend 5 minutes working on this project. You get started, and all of a sudden, an hour later, you not only complete it, but you also feel an amazing sense of pride and accomplishment. I want you to understand this. You will not always be motivated to do something. So you have to force yourself to be disciplined, because those that are undisciplined allow moods, appetites, passion, and temptation to dominate their lives. But that is no longer who you are, because you are now officially part of the Doers Club. You are now officially part of the Winners Club. You are now officially part of the Champions Club. You are now officially part of the Those with Self-Discipline Club, because you now understand that with self-discipline, all things are possible. You now understand that great leaders always have self-discipline. You now understand that great entrepreneurs always have self-discipline. You now understand that great champions always have self-discipline. You now understand that great athletes always have self-discipline, because they understand that self-discipline is about controlling your desires and impulses while staying focused on what needs to get done to achieve your goal. The late, great Kobe Bryant said, I don't understand lazy people. We don't speak the same language. I don't understand you, and I don't want to understand you. See, Kobe understood that at the center of bringing any dream, any goal, or any success into fruition is a little thing we like to call self-discipline. How you will go from below average, from average to good, from good to great, and from great to phenomenal. That's you, ordinary you. You want to lose that weight. You want to get that six-pack. You want to get that job promotion.
Hey guys, how you doing? Something can let me know in the chat or mute yourself, please, if you can hear me. Okay. Can anybody hear me? Yeah, cheers, thank you. Thanks, Craig. So
yeah, good, Jason.
Cheers, thank you. If you can see my screen as well, you should be able to see 1 to 17. So these are the few sort of common questions that do come up quite often, quite frequently. Number 7 is very, very popular, but I keep on saying this every week. I can go over it, it's not a problem, but the best way you're going to learn that is literally off the person who designed it and who trades it the most, which is Sean. So better off going on his sessions and asking him questions. But I'm not saying I won't cover it if you want to go over it. But yeah, guys, I say again every week. It's a newbie session. So anybody new, but obviously new or old, I don't mind answering any questions that you've got. And we do end up typically covering pretty much a lot of trading stuff, which is fine. But if somebody is very, very new and wants to know anything at all, please ask. So either unmute yourself, put it in the chat, or just literally type 1, 6, 10, 12, 15, literally whatever, 1 to 17, or anything else you've got. So fire away, guys. What?
Jason, do you do 5-minute trades on the HFX?
Yes. Yeah. So I'll watch.
Go
on.
No, I was just going to say, yeah. Do you mind sort of running through your sort of getting and process kind of thing? I've been on a few sessions with Sean, and I've watched a few Rebs. You know what he does, kind of thing, works on the levels and rather than the indicators and that. I'd just be interested, because I find 1 minute is quite hectic. So
yes.
I'll be interested to know what your 5-minute strategy was, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, 5 minutes is 1 minute is quite quick. I wasn't overly keen on it. Yeah, videos. So in here, I'll go over it anyway. But in here, there's this recording here. Okay, share the link. It is literally how I trade. Try 5 minutes. So that's another breakdown, and there's another one here as well. That's 1 hour 20. So I'll put that in the chat for you. So you just literally click the link, you should be able to get access to it. But yeah, we can cover it. Chat. I think my whole bloody PC is reset. How annoying. Let's move that to the side. Right, let's pick a pair. Okay, we've got 1 minute. Let's put try on. Try on, and then change my candles. Candles. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is so let's do a list. So some of you can maybe, if you want to, screenshot it or take notes. Number 1 is look on the higher time frame for support and resistance levels. Resistance levels. So let's do that first. Okay, so that's the first thing. So either 4 hour, 2 hour, or the 1 hour, you pretty much will get the same thing off pretty much every time frame. So we start with the 4 hour. What we're trying to identify is just support and resistance. So I find it easy to put try off for this. So get your little tool horizontal line and just pretty much put a line through. The whole point of it, if you put a random line in anywhere, does the candles or the wick touch the line as much as possible or quite frequently? So let's find them. That's what we're trying to identify. Yeah, so where it respects key levels, if you like. So, and that's one there. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's pretty much where, so that line now, that purple line I put in, the candle has come up to that area and bounced off. So let's go left and see what else is there. So here it's rejected off. So bear in mind, this is on a 4 hour time frame. So we're only playing with minutes, aren't we? So it's, if you drop that down to like 1 minute, you will see a lot of bounces off this line here, because that candle there represents 4 hours. So there's a lot of candles in there. So there's a few there actually. Like it's also not just bouncing off; it's struggled to push through. So you know it's a hard resistance there. There's a lot of resistance there. There's a lot of sellers trying to push down the market. There you go. Look at that. Pin perfect. What we do? Go look left. The trade's right. It's touched it. Exactly the same. Yeah. So that was all the way back. If you look at the bottom in the black box, 16th of January last year. Yeah, so over a year, but pretty much 18 months ago, it hit there. So, you know, and then it's done the same here. Look, pin perfect twice, nearly 3 times, dead on that line. Yeah, and then again here. So it's broken through. That's classed as a break and retest. Okay, so it's broken here, broken through, retested, and then dropped. That is a break and retest. That is a strategy in itself, but it won't work with the HFX. But yeah, you can see the rejection. So let's go back to here. So it's not overly important, obviously, to look that way back, all the way that far back. You just want to identify pretty much these areas here. So there's one here. There's a lot of play and touches here. Again, don't worry, don't be so pin perfect, because that one's pushed through. If anything, it's showing that this line is strong. Yeah, the sellers are pushing down, because if you look at the wicks, and I'll do this exactly on the 1 minute or the 5 minute as well, just because this is a 4 hour, the concept is pretty much the same. So what you're identifying is the wicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty much you could say 6. There's 6 wicks there. What that is showing is signs of exhaustion. So the market is trying to push upwards, but it's failing. Therefore, what would we be looking for? We'd be looking for sells. So that's just literally market structure, being able to read the market. Yeah, so when you see like that there, yeah, it's tried to push down, failed. It's pushed up again, so the buyers are kicking in, but the sellers were a little bit stronger at that time, but it's failed to push down further down to here. And then all of a sudden, the buyers kicked in, see you later, it's pushed up. Yeah, so these are pretty much key levels, really, that you can play with. So let's identify more. They're literally everywhere. Yeah, so there's another one there. So I just looked at this area here, and look where price is right now, exactly on that line. Yeah, so let's get some more in. There you go. So there's some here. It's a little bit too far away there. Here, some injection here. And again, this is pretty much, it's tried to break through. The candle body is stayed pretty much above the line, and the wick has tried to push down, but it's failed. It's eventually got through, Yeah, so it's just hovered here for quite a fair bit, and then it's dropped then. Yeah, so you can, like I say, you can do this all on the one on the 5 minutes chart as well. That's a good one there. So you've got some here, some play here, rejection here, a lot of rejection there really. It's broken through, come back. This purple one here bounced off. Got the first one, that was the test. It tried to push down but failed. The buyers kicked in. There. Again, it's broken through, come back up to retest this line, this purple line, and then sold, sell off. Okay, so we could be getting in for sells on all these. Let's put some more in. This will take time, guys, you know, but I did struggle with this for a long time. I just couldn't see it. But as soon as your lines are in, leave them there. Yeah, so that should be enough maybe for now. So because when you drop to the 1 hour, 1 minute, sorry, these lines will be nowhere to be seen. Not many in it actually, because obviously the candles are so far apart. So let's delete this yellow box. We can. There we go. So all we can see now is this one here. So how many lines do we have in total? What, 7 or 8? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, about 8. So just because you're doing it on the 4 hour, it's obviously quite close, but when you drop it down to a smaller time frame, yeah, we're only obviously concentrate on this purple line at the moment. So if you stick on try, obviously the market's not open at the moment. So you can do this with, like I say, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour. You won't get much difference between them really. But I like to do them on the 15, or even you can even do it on the 1 minute if you want to. Just identify. With the 1 minute, I'd rather do zones rather than lines. So for example, what I will do is, so can we do replay? No. Growth variable isn't available for this chart type. Oh, right, okay, yeah, you can't do it on Heiken-Ashi candles, but let's go from here. So just imagine we're currently sat in this price here. Okay, so this area here. So what we've identified is, so it's obviously had a good run up. Here's a good run up. So just bear in mind your EMA is down here, the red and the green. What it's done, I've noticed, what's that? That's a long wick, so it's signs of rejection. You've also got smaller candles. Yeah, so it's showing so what candle is basically just volume of amount of people or money that's in the market. So obviously here, there's a lot of people pushing upwards, so therefore there's a lot of money behind it. Yeah, and obviously works the other way down, on the way down as well. So we've got smaller candles. It's showing signs of exhaustion. We've also got this wick, and we've got very small bodies here. Yeah, so if it was that strong and the buyers wanted to push hard, obviously there'd be, God, this terrible drawing. There'd be big candles, yeah, pushing upwards. There's not, so it's just dying away basically. Yeah, so then we've got this rejection at the top, the red platform. Okay, so what I will do with this, so the banks work in zones, they don't work in lines. And I think if you work in lines, such as here, if you're trying to work off this one, and it comes down to here, you're going to be, you know, so sort of anal about it. You're not going to take the trade. Yeah, and I think maybe you have to be with 1 minute, but with a 5 minutes, you literally have got enough breathing space, if that makes sense, to allow, so that to me is a zone, yeah, rather than just a line. So what a lot of people do, there's nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather work in zones. So a lot will just mark that out, see the orange line going across. Yeah, so basically, if this was pushing down, and that's your first support, and it's trying to push upwards, what a lot of people would start thinking is, oh, it's broken this orange line, and it's only come down to here. So from there to there, it's literally millimeters, it's tiny. But what happened? It pushed upwards. So a lot of people here would have been thinking, oh, it's broken through the orange line, it's going to go down, and people looking for sells. Yeah, so it kind of tricks you, and that's possibly the banks doing that on purpose, manipulating the market. So rather than having a line, I would have a zone here. So typically I draw my zone 50% above and 50% below. So just have the line in the middle of the box, basically. You don't want a massive box either. So the concept of it really is a big change of viewpoint for me. Rather than, you'll never get a pinpoint market really. It's very, very rare that you'll get a very, very, very accurate market really, because it's so volatile. You know, we've got to bear in mind there's what, $7.3 trillion a day that goes through it, money wise. So it's not always going to be pin perfect. So working in zones, I do prefer it. So you can leave these zones in if you want to, and if you want to, it may help you. If you draw the square out, and if you want to extend it to the right, it will literally just keep on going for you. So again, a bit like support and resistance, you can identify these zones then. If it might be a week later, you think, oh yeah, last week I was in that zone there, so it's now back at that zone, and it's respecting that area again. So here, obviously, it's come into the zone and then pushed off. Yeah, so my zones are just classed the same as support and resistance lines, but I just do zones instead, boxes. So where was I? I was, yeah, up here, wasn't I? Yeah, so just imagine we were up here, okay? So we've got the signs of weakness. So we can add to our list now. So number one would be identify. Number two, identify signs of weakness, SOW, from candle bodies and or wicks. Okay. So we're just looking at the chart, seeing what the bodies are doing. And the wicks is come up to here, it's lost its puff basically, yeah, and then we've got a big rejection area here, resistance at the top. Okay, so this red zone is quite big. Yeah, these smaller ones I'm not overly keen on. Yeah, these ones here down here at the bottom left. And ones they're okay. They're not, you know, they're still resistance or support, but they're not the best. If they're bigger, they're stronger. Yeah, so let's mark this out. It's typically 50%. When I say 50%, you just literally draw your own box, but also don't go like, you know, like this. Just have a nice little neat box. So you just split it. So 50% below and then 50% above the line. Okay, so let's extend that to the right. Yeah, so you could have taken this if you wanted to. Or you could have just waited. So we all know patience is a massive, massive thing in Forex, and it does go against us a lot. So we had indecision, and then a flat top. So you could have taken this. So now I'm on the 1 minute, but I take a 5-minute trade. So if we did take that, because the rules are exactly the same as what Sean does. I'm sure you've all been on Sean's sessions. Yeah, so we wait for the indecision candle. Yeah, resistance, hit resistance, indecision again. Yeah, and the maximum I will have is 2. If this was the indecision again, I wouldn't have taken the trade. So yeah, 2 indecision candles is the maximum I will go. A flat top, not massive, but again, it's going back to the fact that you're allowing it 5 minutes to make its move. Yeah, so this one would have been our first minute. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. We would have ended up down here. Okay, so we entered up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we finished down there. Yeah, so again,
Jason, sorry to interrupt. Would you have been confident, even though that, you know, that first down candle was only quite small? Obviously, everything else is indicating that it's slowing and it's going to go down. But with that first one being so little, would you still have been confident in getting in on that one?
Yeah, because I know what you mean. So but it depends really on, you know, possibly how my week's been, or how my day's been, other trades I've taken. If I was like 2 or 3 losses, I wouldn't be trading anyway. But yeah, if I'd done 2 wins so far, I would. It's like 51% likely and 49% risky, if that makes sense. So I would have gone with it because it did follow the system, really, what we're looking for. So wick, and then yeah, we did get a flat top, but again, because it's fairly far from the EMA, I know it needs to come back to here. So I would have taken it. It's not the best of trades, really. Yeah, ideally, I love them up here. So you know it's got to come down quite hard back to home, basically back to the path, back to the EMA. But yeah, it's going back to the fact that on a 1 minute, I would never take that, no chance. Yeah, because you literally would have, I'd imagine, would have lost that. Yeah, so you would have got in on it. Maybe you would have been just about okay, but yeah, on a 1 minute, which well, I don't trade anyway, but I would have wanted it a lot bigger. I would have wanted it to be breaking this support here. But yeah, because I'm taking 5 minutes, it's just a confidence thing, really. You know, in the start, I wasn't taking them, but you get to sort of read and understand the market and how it all works, and then I would have taken that trade knowing it's got another sort of 4.5 minutes to go. So I'm giving it enough space to do its move. And obviously there it worked out. You know, remember, I do lose as well, you know, but I took 100 trades on 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute. And 5 minutes literally smashed them. You know, it's percentage wise, I don't really remember it, but it was quite high compared to the 3 and the 1 minute. So that's why I stick to the 5 minute, really. So just remember, watch on the 1 minute on TradingView, and you take on the 5 minutes on race option. So, or like I say early on, you could have just been patient and waited here. And what did I do? I've extended my zone to the right. Wait. What's it done? Come back perfectly into the zone. Again, prime example. Let's take that away. If you had your orange line in here off this red one, you see it's very thin. Let's make it a bit thicker. Yeah, the orange line, when it broke through here, people were thinking, oh, I need to buy, and you're getting in just off, I don't know, FOMO, I guess, your fear of missing out. You just click to buy because you've seen all this run up here, thinking, oh, it's definitely pushing up, it's broken there now. What's it done? Rejected off that zone because it's such a strong area. Yeah, so let's put the zone back in. That's exactly why I don't like working with lines. I do use them, don't get me wrong, but zones to me is a lot perfect, a lot more easy to work with, because like I say, even if you took that trade there, you shouldn't, because we've not had a down one, but even if you did for some bizarre reason, so 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, you still would have won that. Yeah, you shouldn't be taking them trades, but for some, I've done them, some crazy trades in the past, but yeah, that's a perfect trade, really. So waited for it to come up and hit resistance, which it did do. You could have waited for this one to see what well, you should be anyway. And then what we got was a indecision here, and then we got a flat top. Yeah, so we would have entered on this one. So 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, ended up down there perfectly off the EMA. And even if you wanted to wait for this one, again, prime example, because it's a 5 minute trade, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This fifth one is pushed it all the way back up, and you may well have just won that if you were fast enough getting in off this one here. Yeah, you would have won that. So there's still a bit of a fair gap, well, a small gap, but you should have won that. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is literally, because you've given it enough room to make its 4 candle move, this you can push down to all the way down to here. Yeah, this one, even then, bit of a squeaky bum time, came all the way back up. If that happened on a 1 minute, you'd be knackered. Yeah, that massive wick there. Yeah, no chance you'd have won that. Yeah, because obviously it's just shot up and down. It's very volatile there. But because you've allowed it to make its push down, even that sort of big move there, it's a fairly big wick, fairly big candle. it's come back up, but you're still winning because you've given it enough safety net, I guess. Yeah. For that that doesn't happen very often, to be fair. But same down below here. So what you could have done is the same here. You could have identified these, these two here. What happens here, guys, is this resistance has now come to a newfound support. Yeah, so it's the same area, and this is why it's a good idea to extend this all the way right, because further down the line, you can see what's been going on. So here we had resistance, this platform and this platform. Oh, it looks like a smiley face now. Put a nose on it. Yeah, resistance is obviously broken through very, very strongly. It's come down very strongly as well. And now it's resistance, support, sorry, God. Yeah, so you can now use this as a zone. So you could have used this. Obviously, what did we have? Was a push down, wick, 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 wick. A lot of wicks there, showing signs of exhaustion. Okay, these I quite like because it's so far away from the EMA. Yeah, because I think that somebody said, I think it was Sean, was it? I think he uses an analysis of, I'm not sure how many of you got kids. Imagine you walking through the woods with your kids or on a path. Yeah, this is you on the line on the EMA. You're walking with your dog or your kids. Okay, what happens? The dog runs away, but 99% of the time it'll come back to the owner, come back to the daddy or mummy. Yeah, same with the child, same with the trading. So it's stuck around here, it's pushed off, ran away from mummy and daddy, but come back to the path. Yeah, so again, market structure, you just need to know really when, because it's very, very rarely that it goes further than that sort of space. That was a big move there. But yeah, so that there is pretty much the same as that move there. Yeah, so from there to the EMA, that black arrow is pretty much the same. Let's move that down to there. From there to there. So you start to notice these things, and maybe let's even go from there to there. Yeah, it's not far off. So it's so here, and here, it's pretty much stayed in that zone. So again, because look at that, what I've done is I marked out my yellow here. What you're identifying now is it's staying within the yellow lines, yellow zones. So here is broken in this area. So now we could possibly forget this area, because imagine this is there's a ceiling, which it is resistance, and that's the support. What you are doing really is just imagine having a ping pong ball or a bouncy ball, just bouncing it up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, that's what the market is doing. Here it's obviously come up, hit resistance, come down, hit support, come up, hit resistance, come down, and it's smashed through here. Yeah, so now we're looking at this area. Yeah, but if we come over to so over to here, nothing so far. So it's not respected any of these. So this stopped here. It didn't come up to this zone again, but it may do, because obviously we're currently down here now. If the market's closed, but we're down here at the moment. Current price is sat down here at the moment, so it could do a possible break and retest. So from here, it could come down, back up to retest our zone and push away. Yeah, so if it came up to here, we had nice wicks pushing away, and then an indecision candle, and then a flat top. We'd be looking for sells. Yeah, so all this is just literally like, it's just pretty much market structure. So you could leave these zones in. You'll be very, very shocked how many times it comes back to this area, such as here. Yes, only small, but still the concept is it respecting that zone? It's respected it. It's pushed through. It's kind of failed to push through enough. It's come back down. It's tried to push through again, and it's still failing. So this is a strong zone. Yeah, so it's a strong key area. So possibly it could, like I say, come down to here, come back up, and then push away. So therefore we'll be looking for sells. So here we're obviously pushing downwards. Yeah, resistance. Hit the support, indecision, and then so yeah, 2 indecisions, and then we've got a flat bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Yeah, we ended up here. So we entered off this one here. So let's update this. So what else we got? Look at the high time frames. Identify a sign of weakness from candles, bodies or wicks. Number 3 would be mark out our zones through the yellow boxes. Number 4 would be identify DOT possibly, so direction of travel, so which way is the market pushing overall. So you could up it to the 15 or the 5 or the 15, even the 30-minute chart to see which way it's overall pushing down here. Yes, obviously here we can clearly see it's pushing in a downward movement. Yeah, so there's more likelihood. Which way do we swim if we fell in the river? Against the river, against the tide, or with the tide? Obviously, we go with the tide. I'm sure there's a lot more chance of survival. So therefore, we'll be going with the market, push down with the market. Yeah. So DOT, direction of travel or trend, we can call it trend. I would be what we got? Identify. What else we got? So we want rejection of the zones, and 6, identify doji. So a doji you may not have heard of before. It's the proper sort of forex word for indecision. So that's wrong, I'm dyslexic. Yeah, your indecision candle. And then obviously we need, number 7 would be a flat top or flat bottom before we take the trade. And pretty much, yeah, enter the trade. The 5 minutes time frame. 5 minute on race option. I think that's pretty much it. High time frame, signs of weakness, mark out our zones, identify the trend, identify rejection off the main zones. Yeah, identify the doji. Maybe let's put in number 8 would be what to call it? Yeah, I guess identify again. How far away is current price from the EMA? Yeah, I mean, we're walking with our kids on a path. Price pushes off. The kids run away. They always come back. Yeah, or you can call. I used to pretty much call it a magnet or home. Yeah, it always wants to come back to the home. It always hugs the EMA. Yeah, exponential moving average. There's 7, 8, 9 points there. Pretty much, I would be looking at before taking a trade. So if you've done 9, if you can get 7, 6 or 7 out of 9 there, you know, well, ideally all of them really, because I wouldn't be looking high time frame. Number one is not a major issue, because obviously, look, we need to, like the higher time frame support and resistance was down here, wasn't the purple one, but we can't be waiting every day for price to get back down to here. But if it does go to there and it bounces off like it has done here, then it's even stronger. So we should see when the market opens tonight, a resistance, a support, one of these little green platforms open up here, because it's obviously bounced off. Yeah, supports, and then possibly if we can get an indecision here, and then we get a flat bottom, we could be going back up to this zone. So we could be looking for buys. Yeah, but we won't know that until it happens. Got anything in the chat? More chats. Greg, what do your brighter green candles represent? You should have it on, mate. So they are surge candles. It's typically when the candle opens bigger or further than the previous candle, mate. Yeah, so it's a surge candle. It means there's a lot of power behind it, a lot of people behind it. So yeah, when there's opened, the pink one was bigger than this purple one. Yeah, so when it opened, that is. And it's the same obviously with the lime green, the lighter green ones. Yeah. Joe, once my business leaves the room, I'll go on microphone. If you get a moment, can you do number 8? I'm happy to set up race option later this evening. Number 8, what number 8? How to use rates option. Yeah, okay, no worries. So yeah, sorry, I forgot who was asking. So that's pretty much how I trade HFX. Yeah, if you want to, let me make that bigger for you. Oh, there you go. If you want to take a picture of that, it's up to you. If you want to follow that, it's entirely up to you. Or what I'll do is I will copy and paste it into the chat so you've got it. Again, it's personal preference. Please don't message me saying, "Oh, it doesn't work." Yeah, it's entirely up to you guys how you trade and how you want to take your trades. And obviously, just please bear in mind to be careful with risk management. If you want to copy and paste that, if you want it anchored to the page, so you want to just leave it up there, so when you scroll, it stays there. You just need to go to where are we? This one is it? No. Yeah, anchored text. So the standard text would just, when you move, it goes with the screen. You see the pink box, it moves. So the grey one is anchored. So if you want to, that will obviously constantly stay on your screen. So when we're doing this, and you're about to take a trade, you can refer to it up there. Yeah, number 8 is the race option, isn't it? Race option.
So I jumped in a bit late, Jason. But I was going to ask: is the EMA the same as the SMA?
Yeah, it's very similar, mate. So EMA is the exponential moving average, and then the SMA is a simple, isn't it? Simple moving average. Yeah, they're pretty much the same, mate. They're pretty identical to me, mate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so somebody's asking about a race option. So on the left, you'll have the currencies, commodities, and crypto. Obviously, crypto will be Litecoin, Ripple, Bitcoin, all that stuff. So at the bottom, so Bitcoin at the moment is kicking out 75%. So therefore, if we were to put £10 stake down, we would get, if it won, we would get our £10 back plus £7.50 profit. If it lost, just like you do a bet in the bookies, really, you would lose your £10. Yeah, and then if we were to take this, I don't know, this is totally random, but I'll say up. You just click on call. So I just put a £1 stake on. And then obviously as soon as so this is a minute, so yeah, which is what I don't do, but if this wins, great. As soon as it comes to this green little small tiny little ball, so you can see there's a horizontal, a vertical line. I don't remember which one it is. There's a line going up and down here. So when it finishes, the whole minute, so from there to there, should be around a minute, because it's not on fixed time. You don't want fixed time on, by the way. Yeah, so God, that was a really good trade, wasn't it? So yeah, that obviously won. As soon as that got to the end of that green little dot, that's where you finish. So you can leave every time, leave it on turbo. You don't need to change. But yeah, what I would be doing is I click on 5 minutes. So therefore I see the countdown at the top. So that just literally started on 5 minutes now. Obviously when the 5 minutes is up, it will start again. Yeah, but if I got into a trade now, it would only keep me in the trade for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah, obviously the countdown is, if you want to change it back to 5 minutes, do that again, it will restart the clock. Yeah, same on any time frame. 1 minute, so 59, 58. If you want to take the 1 minute trade fully, click on 1 minute again, it'll go back. Yeah, so when you take the trade, I don't know if you've seen in the bottom when that Bitcoin was going, it was, it'll have an ID number, asset, it'll say Bitcoin there, strike price, what price you got in at, the expiry, it'll tell you exactly all what you call and puts, the start time, expiry time, your order size was obviously £1 for me. Your payout would be £1.75. That was rollover. I really highly discourage using it. I've used it about 4 times since about 6-7 months. I just really don't like it. If you click on rollover, what it does, it adds, I think it's 30%, is it? So if you took a £10 trade and you clicked on rollover, what it does, it rolls over the 1 minute for another, I'm pretty sure it's another minute, isn't it? So you're in the trade for 2 minutes really. Matthew Thayer, which does Castrap, he literally loves it. He uses it a lot, but it works for him. He believes in his analysis, and if he thinks it's going to go down, then he's going to click rollover, because sometimes the price will do what it wants to do. But click on rollover, it'll add. So it's going up from £10 stake now to 13. So if you then clicked it again, it's going up from 13 up to whatever 30% of that is what, £3.90, isn't it? Yeah. So it'll go up to like £16.90, and you just added and added and added. And if you think, well, you know what, I definitely think it's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, and it's still dropping and dropping and dropping. You click on rollover 10 times, you just added what, 30%, 300% of your stake size to that. So I just don't, it's not for me. Again, it's personal preference, but that is literally pretty much it, mate. That's as basic as rate option is. So obviously currencies, ideally what we do look for is just pretty much something, well, me personally, something that kicks out 70% or above. So at the moment, GBP CAD is kicking out 75%. So we can't trade this until 10 o'clock. The markets don't open until 10 o'clock. I don't trade between 10 and midnight anyway, because it's very volatile. The market, it goes crazy. So you can choose whatever pair you wish, but obviously the higher the percentage is paying out, the more money you'll get. So these, all the AUD, so Sean loves AUD CAD and AUD NZD. Bitcoin, as you can see, was 75%. Yeah, these are 60%, 62%. It's just more so if you lose, then you've got to, so if you lose your pound, you've got to typically, let's say 75%. So your next 2 trades will bring you in, obviously you need to get your pound back. So you'd get £1.50 profit, wouldn't you, minus your pound. So you'd only be up 50p. So that's the only sort of downside to HFX, is the risk to reward. Yeah, so whereas with the Forex stuff, you can have a risk to reward of 6, 7, 9, 10% to 1. So if you lost 9 trades and you won your 10th trade, you'd be pretty much back to break even. So that's the benefit of Forex, really, doing the banker stuff or any Forex stuff. Yeah, so you could lose pretty much 25, 70, 80% of your trades in Forex, win 1 or 2, and you'll still be up. Yeah, so I think there's the section in, I think it's section 4, isn't it, of our Facebook on the main group. I think Martin, the guy that does that video, he took 25 trades, 23 of them lost, and he was still up 22%. Yeah, so he only won 2 trades out of 25 trades, and he was still up 22%. So that just shows, you know, but obviously my mind would have gone absolutely crazy losing 22 on a bounce, 23 on a bounce. So what else can we do? Any more questions or chats?
Thanks for that, Jason.
No worries. When a candle finishes with a wick, does the next candle start from the wick or the body, and does the wick count? The wick really is, well, I was taught in Forex, the wick is just a distraction from true price action, because where the money is in the body. Yeah, so where the body opens and closes, is the most important part. So because you're on Heikin-Ashi candles, the candle will always open 50% of this candle here. So see that purple one? Let's take halfway, obviously 50%. Where did the pink one open? Halfway. Let's take 50% of this candle here. Where did that candle open? 50%. Yeah, every single candle opens 50%. Yeah, this little purple candle here. Let's take 50% of it. Where did that green one open? 50%. The candle finishes with a wick. Does the next candle start from the wick? Yeah, so that should answer your question, mate. No, it doesn't start from the wick. It starts from the body. Every single one. That's the only small advantage of HFX. You know exactly where that candle is going to open. Yeah, with Forex, your next candle could, let's say we're on this candle, looking at this candle here now. So let's say, for example, this did close like as it is. Let's say, I don't know, I'm just going off I here. Let's say about 50% is there. With Forex, your next candle could open up there or even down here. So you just don't know. Yeah, but with HFX, your candle is going to open here, 50%. Yeah, whether it goes up or down, I don't know. That's the unfortunate part. Hope that answers your question, mate. Nothing else so far.
When if it opens at that 50%, because I never knew that it does that, and so but that it could open that 50%, it could bounce either way, can't it? Like obviously, if it starts trending more to a sell, it can still bounce and go the other way, can't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Any time, but yeah, it always opens at 50%.
Sound.
We change back to normal candles, such as this one. Obviously, that's nowhere near 50%. It opened up there. Yeah, so or this one's tiny. Yeah, so this opened up there. That's a down candle. So that was a candle opened up there and pushed down. That one, next one, then opened below. So yeah, it's just quite hard to say where they're gonna open and close.
So is this the candles view? Is that like a more true view? Is the Heikin-Ashi or what is the purpose of why do we use Heikin-Ashi over anything else?
Is it just a different strategy, mate? I don't actually know the reason behind it. It's just it works with HFX.
Yeah.
Better candlestick. Japanese, we use conjunction candlestick. Yeah, so it's useful for making candlestick charts more readable and trends easier to analyze. But
I suppose at the beginning is better anyway because you want to. That's what you're trying to understand, isn't it? And trying to get into it. So.
Yeah, I'm actually going to use Heikin-Ashi charts to know when they're staying to trade while the trends. Yeah, that's actually a good point. So if we were taking, let's go back. So are we on Heikin-Ashi? Yeah. So if we were taking a trade up here, and we knew it opened there, 50%, opened there, opened there. It's just a trending.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. We're pushing downwards. Obviously, if it still can, like you said, open there, and it can go the opposite way. So if it did, then Forex wise, maybe you'd be able to come out early with profit. Maybe not so much with HFX because we can't control that. As soon as you put the trade on, it's gone, isn't it? We can't do anything about it. But I guess that's the only reason, really, mate.
Sound.
Does the wick count on a trade on price up, for instance? Sorry, mate, I don't understand. Does the wick count on a trade on price up, for instance? Do you mean when the price is pushing upwards?
Hi, mate. Sorry, Jay.
No reason.
So when the candle finishes, and say you're in a trade for 5 minutes, and the wick finishes, say it's above your trade, where you basically you go across to race option, wouldn't you? But on your on the candle, you can see that you're spiked into the trade by the wick, or spiked out of it by the wick. Does the wick count, or is just the wick just an indication of which way it's going, up or down?
Yeah, the wick will still count.
So the wick would still count, yeah?
On race option, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if let's say we got in, I don't know, where would be, yeah, so if we got into, then let's do a blank one, easier. Settings. So if that was one candle, and then we got next candle opened 50% of that. So we need 5, don't we, basically? So that would be 50%. Let's just go with 3. So if I think I'm following you, mate. So if we entered here,
Yeah.
and then we had not going to go center for me, but
That's
yeah,
all right.
if do you mean if the wick off this one pushed up to
Yeah.
and took that out,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd lose that trade, mate.
Because the wick would count. Yeah, I get you now. That's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
mate.
We entered there off the orange line, yeah, and then we were in profit, thinking, oh great, fantastic, it's going well, bang, see you later. The wick would take you out if it closed there. Obviously, this is 3 candles. Yeah, if just imagine that was your 3rd, 4th, 5th candle. You think, great, fantastic, we're on the win. All of a sudden, it pushes up. Possibly news comes out, and it goes mad. Yeah, that's the most annoying part, especially on 1 minute, and that's exactly why I don't do the 1 minute, because that happens to me a lot. I started thinking in the end, is the race option, is the broker against me? I get keep on wicked out and stuff, and so yeah, I did 5 minutes because, like I was saying before, it does gives you that extra sort of breathing space. And if it does come back up to wick, hopefully you'll have enough of a gap because it's pushed down in the 4 minutes on your 5th minute candle. Hopefully it won't come back up all the way to take that out. But yeah, if it did do that, it would take you out.
So with that, on that one, that would be a put, wouldn't it? So that would be a put there in that line you've drawn at the top.
Yeah.
And then it's going down. You think, right, yeah, that's selling. And then that one wick there just pushes out through what you said, or what you thought, where it thought it was going to be. So you've lost that because it's pushed past it.
Yes. Yeah,
but
correct.
that wick would have to finish on like your 1 minute or 2 minute, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever.
So if that was your, like you said, if it's a 1 minute and that's your last candle, and the wick pushed past it, that's the reason you've lost.
Yeah.
But if the 5 minute, the next candle was your 5 minute, let's say, and it was below your line, you've won.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. So
yeah.
Cheers for that, Joyce.
No worries. Just try and find an example if you can find one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, to be fair, it doesn't happen that often, which is good. It's very rare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so possibly it's quite hard to find. But let's say we got in here 1, 2, 3, 4. Forget that one is there. Okay, we're just going off this one. Just imagine that's your first candle. This one here. Just imagine this one's our first candle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if this one was our 5th one, and it came down to obviously there, the wick, we entered here. It'd be tight, but yeah, you would have lost that. Yeah, so 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. You think, great, fantastic. I'm up. I'm in profit. Then all of a sudden, this candle opens, bang, goes all the way down. Let's put a line there. Yeah, so we entered here of the candle body, and you need to be quite quick to enter there as well. So you could have maybe even entered here or here or here. Yeah, it just depends how fast or slow you are on the trigger. But yeah, if that would have come down, it would have taken you out. Yeah, unfortunately, as long as, like you were saying, that finish on your 5th minute, where that little ball was on race option, you know, where the time or price finishes, basically. Any other questions, guys, or I can go back to we got 1 to 17. a number in if you want.
What's the 2 and 3 options? When will I be eligible? What's that?
2 and 3 is what we do is, so everything that comes on board, you sign up and obviously you pay your monthly subscription. What
Is that the 2 referral things?
Yeah, 2 and 3. Yeah. So if you bring 2 people on board, or we will help you do it. You know, when it's quite a big question really, because obviously don't know when you signed up. There's a lot of people before you, but what we do try and do is try and help people to not pay the monthly subscription.
Yeah.
So if you brought in 2 people by tomorrow, then yeah, your next monthly or your monthly subscription every month will be wiped, as long as then people stay with the company and they're active.
Yeah. A mate of mine who's on this chat now, he signed up through my referral.
There you go. So you just need another one using your link, and then you'll be 2 and 3.
Sound. Go hunting.
Yeah.
Best time to trade, number 10. I've seen a lot about not traded on Monday mornings.
Yeah, so it's typically just because the market is it's closed from obviously Friday 10 p.m. and what it does do is it's just like compounding or holding all that price action until it's like a bit like, I don't know, releasing a dog or a greyhound or a horse, and it just literally goes mad. So the price just wants to obviously settle. It's a bit like settling, let the dust settle after the weekend.
Yeah.
The price still does actually move, because obviously money never sleeps. So, you know, the US dollar doesn't just close over the weekend, or the GBP or the euro doesn't just stop on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So price throughout the world still moves. Therefore, in the background, it will move. It just doesn't show on TradingView.
Right.
So whenever it will open, which obviously 10 o'clock tonight. What's this? USD JPY. So whichever is stronger, obviously it'll bounce up to that area. So if you go on to candles. So if you go on to the daily chart, sometimes you'll see a big gap where price finished on the Friday and then reopened on a Sunday. Doesn't seem to happen that often. No, it doesn't seem like it, but sometimes you get a big gap. So you think it's classed as imbalance. So people, if anybody's doing the Forex side of stuff, that's classed as an imbalance. So price needs to come in and fill that area basically.
Or just like a correction of the market because of what happened over the weekend and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Sound.
So it's not happened for a long time actually. Yeah, I did say along, guys, we do 2 hours, but I think that's quite a long time. So we've got about 20 minutes left. I'll finish at 9, it's an hour and a half. What else we got? 17. Anything else, guys? Or literally number 17? Anything? Literally anything. So I don't know.
Are you trading full time now?
No, I was doing over COVID. So from April last year till I would say January, February this year, I just relying on full-time Forex. Yeah, the money from that. I've got a taxi company, so I took a dump of 89% revenue. It was a big hit.
Yeah.
So Forex literally managed to keep me going, pay my bills, upgraded my car, but the missus drives it twice. We moved house, so yeah, it is
a viable option then.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously you get in, and that was obviously is the end game for all of us because we're fed up of working our tits off.
Yeah.
And you sort of, I mean, obviously Sean's got the FTMO now, 100k and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's another guy with a 20k. So, but obviously, and Sean's done it in quite a short period of time.
Yeah, 8 days.
But yeah, I think it's just a difficult I suppose that comes down to how long until I become a successful trader as well. But I suppose that's all down to what you put in and how many hours you're willing to learn and stuff as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So I've been in pushing 2 years now. I would only just say now I'm getting nowhere near professional, but getting good at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
You can sort of sit back and be like, start making plans based on what you're going to do with it.
Yeah. So pretty much maybe 12 months from now, I will be looking to sell the taxi company or put somebody in. And I'll literally go maybe sooner. It just all depends on it. And it's shit, guys. I know it is. It's fucking hard. Don't get me wrong. You know, it really does. It massively plays with your mindset. It's so I've blown 7 accounts. So, you know, don't be afraid to go in all guns blazing, but just be careful or just know that you could possibly blow accounts. And
did you blow them accounts being part of this group, or did you blow them prior?
Prior, mate. Yeah. So I've come close again to. I've got 2 accounts, so there's a smaller one. That's partially why, you know, I've blown. The first 4 accounts was purely just down to me being a bit of a dickhead, too cocky, didn't listen, didn't want to watch any education. I just thought I could take on the world. No, I don't need nobody. I just went all, you know, over leveraged massively. So yeah, it is part of the journey. Unfortunately, it sounds a bit daft and people thinking, well, what do you mean throwing money at me? But we a lot of us will do it, and I would say 90% of you on this call will do it. You know, if not, you've done it already. I don't know how long you guys have been in, but you know, it's, and some of the people that I've got that I'm helping, you know, it's there's about 3 or 4 of them done that already. They've blown it in a space of 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, it's just greed kicks in. We over leverage. We think, oh, I just won 3 in the trot. I'll go from 10 quid to 80 quid, hoping the next sort of 3 will win, and then they lose, and you start chasing, and it's hard. So it's just mindset is the biggest thing. It's the consistency. That is the one thing I can literally just tell you all: consistent, and it's hard because obviously, let's say I don't know what sort of size accounts you guys have got, but when you start playing with 200, 400, 600 quid to maybe £1,000, 3% that is not huge. So you're thinking, fucking hell, you know, I can make more fucking selling ice creams or something. But you know, you just got to look at the big picture. And again, it's hard. It's easy to say, and I've literally been there. So, you know, my size of account now, I can make 4 figures a week. So it's nice to be in that position. So look at Sean. He's making fucking insane money. He's making like 6, 7, 8 grand in about an hour, 2 hours. So, you know, it's obviously that's with 100 grand account. So it's, you know, 3% of that is 3 grand. So if you can make that in a day, it's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 grand a week. So that's where, you know, the big picture is. You know, if you can, I would say the key is going, if you want to go from on a big account. A lot of people say to me, well, when should I go and put 4, 5, 7, 10 grand in? I said, well, you need to go from 250 to 1,000 first and pretty much prove it to yourself that you can manage and grow that account.
Yeah, and that's what Dean done, wasn't it? He started at 250, blew that, and then started again, and
yeah.
So it's quite good. Last time I was talking to him about it, but he said as well, like, and he was on Forex the other week, and he done 800 quid, just gone, and then he put one more trade in, and he won it all back, and he's like, all right, that'll do for today.
Yeah, that's the important part. You've got to know when to stop as well. So if you've taken 4 trades and you're up 4, guys, just literally walk away. Just, you know, I used to have one guy. So, but I've only been with Sean about 6, 7 months. So I was in the previous team before this. So I had one guy over there. He was up 65% off a Monday, trading on a Monday, 65%. What happened on Tuesday? Lost it all. Blew his whole account. Yeah, I'm talking. It was about 3.5 grand he'd made in one day, and on Monday he'd blown the 3.5 grand profit and the rest of his account, which is about 7 grand.
It's quite excited.
Yeah, so that's again just pure greed, isn't it? I'm sure we can all agree. You were up 3.5 grand. Why the hell would you want to trade for the rest of the week, if not 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks? You've made your money. Just walk away. Just take the bag, secure, and just walk away. Which Forex, where do you set up demo account with Forex? Where do you set up a demo account? Eddie, you can set up a demo account. So I use, I think a lot of them do demos. So I use Vantage. They're based in the UK. I've always used them. They're very, very, very good. I'm pretty sure, yeah, demo account. You can have a demo account with them. So this is all linked to your MT4, MetaTrader 4, which is an app on your phone. Yes. So when you're taking trades, it's pretty much the same as race option really, but with Forex, you just do it on your phone rather on race option on a laptop or a computer desktop. You can still do it on your computer, but MetaTrader 4 is very, very difficult to get on computers for some reason. But I think Sean and David use, is it IC Market? Yeah, IC Markets. They use this. They go as a free demo there as well. So they use this. This seems a lot nicer and smoother platform. On this, you can take the trade as literally as we are now, as we're looking at it. So on this platform, on the computer, and when you take the trade, it will show you how much pips you're in, how much money you've made, or sort of live there and then if you wish. So you can obviously close it early or whatever, or you can carry on going if you want. Yeah, so Mark, yeah, putting 3 standards lot size on the second day. Yeah, I remember that, Mark. So can any of you see the chat? I don't think you can you? So
yeah, you can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Yeah, if you don't know what 3 standards is, it's so with Forex, it's a fucking lot of money.
That just quickly, that 1 to 500 leverage, is that when, because on the IM Academy, does that mean £1 is worth 500?
Yeah, so that's your
Yeah.
to your size of your accounts basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with Forex, typically, I don't know why they do it so sort of complicated. So on MetaTrader 4, let me show you. 4 trade chart. No. Let's do a chart. No. Let's open Bitcoin. No, I can't do it now because the market's closed. But yeah, on MetaTrader 4, it'll ask you for your lot size, which is basically your money. Okay, so 0.10 typically is obviously to us is 10p. Yeah, but in the Forex world, on MetaTrader 4, on pretty much every platform, what you need to do is times that by 10. Yeah, which obviously gives you £1. Yeah, 10p times 10 is obviously £1. Yeah, so therefore, every pip the market moves. So if you don't know what a pip, guys, is, it's fucking, I'm going ruler. So let's say 1724. Let's go from roughly around here. Let's go up to 1740. Yeah, so that there is 1,561 pips. Yeah, so easiest way to explain it to you, take a ruler and it's pretty much the same as millimeters or centimeters. Yeah, but in Forex world, it's pips. It's point in percentage. It's just, so if that moved, let's go down to 1 hour. But yeah, if we took a trade from, let's say, up here at 1909, where it's at there, you can see the little blue box. Let's take it down to there. That's 4,449 pipettes. Okay, so it's very confusing. So 4449 basically means 44.49 pips. So if you were putting or centimeters, if it's easier to understand, if you were putting £1 per or even 10p, yeah. So 10p, 0.10, that's your lot size, times obviously 10 gives you £1. So if that moved 44 pips, you would have, obviously it's £1 per pip, you would have made £44 in the space of from the top, bottom.
That worked the same though if it went the other way and you could lose 44 pips.
Well, that's where your risk management is coming into key. So if for example you had an account size of, so let's pick up a random number. Let's say your account size was 7,674 quid. That's 7,674 minus 3%, so 230 quid. So for you to take that trade, yeah, you are risking £230. So if it did lose, you've lost 230 quid. Therefore, that is your risk management. Very, very well done. So yeah, that's your 3%. Yeah, so not even that really, you should be risking that 2% maybe. So if you did lose, therefore, obviously, like for example, some people I know before, he was risking 40%. Therefore, 7.5 watts was pretty much half, isn't it? Let's say half. let's do it right. 7
So
six.
3,500 really.
Yeah, pretty much that, isn't it? 40%. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, 3.5, 3.6. So this guy was literally willing to lose 3.5 grand, 3,006 thereabouts of his account. Why? Because he was just greedy. Yeah, because he's just putting it, he wants a bigger lot size. But obviously it works both ways. So obviously it's good to have the profit, but as fast as you can make profit, you can lose it just as quick. So see the red box, what typically you do in Forex is this is your safety net. This is your stop loss basically. So if price did come up to here, it will take you out automatically. And that there is your 3%. Yeah, so there's ways of calculating all this. So typically look at that. You can see there, that's a 5.3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Yeah, so if we were risking 2%, we would times 2% by 5.3, which would give you 10.6% growth on your account. Yeah, off one trade in 13 hours. So yeah, what Mark was saying, it was a standard lot size. He put on, so he put, rather than 10p, he literally put on a full standard lot size, which was one pound. Obviously times that by 10. Now we're playing with £10 per pip. Yeah. So,
Pretty standard.
so that there would have been 44 pips times £10. Yeah, so that was 440 quid. So that's just something you'll pick up. Again, it's in the academy. If you've got the HFX one, stick to HFX. If you're quite new, just get used to it. But if you're learning Forex and you've got Platinum, the package, this is literally in your training in the videos. Yeah, so it goes over risk management and lot sizes and all that stuff. So yeah, there's an app that does it for you. So my FX books, if you can see that on my camera, I will show you our calculators. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, you can see at the top it says currency pair, amount to risk. So there it's my currency USD. So we are trading currency pair, which is GBP USD, and then amount of risk. I want to risk is £750. That is sort of 3%, 2-3% of the account size. And then your stop loss in pips is 18 pips. Therefore, when you click calculate, it will tell you amounts to risk is obviously 750, and then your lot size, it will tell you there. My standard lot size that I need to put down is 4.1. So therefore, I'd be making times 10, £410 per sort of move, yeah, per standard lot, mini lots, yeah. So it's pip value per lot, yeah, it says at the bottom. It says the bottom value per lot is £10, $10 US per lot. So you've got 4 lot sizes on. So 4.16, so yeah, it'd be £40 and 16 pence, wouldn't it, per pip? So that move there was 44, wouldn't it? So 44 times 4.16 times 44, that would have made about 180 quid for you there. No more than that. It's fucking confusing. Yeah, just make sure you're working it out on your calculator. But yeah, all this stuff it's in the academy if you want to learn it, guys. Just delete all that. More chats. There's a chat. Got about 10 minutes left. You got anything else, guys? Oh, there it is. Anything else in the chat? Anything else you want to go? Where to find educators? Who to watch? If you're doing bankers stuff, or don't know, literally anything you want.
Hi, Jason. You're right.
Right.
So you went through the race option earlier for me. What I want to ask as well is obviously I've gone through the 100-200 series of IM.
Yeah.
And I've been going back through, I haven't actually caught him live yet, Sean, but I've been going through most of his tries.
Okay.
And that's why, so I want to now set up obviously my demo account on race option, but I haven't gone through the 300 and 400 series on IM. Would
Okay.
you say I should probably do that first before I set up my race option? Or again, is it kind of just depending on the person, how you get
Yeah,
on?
it's dependent on the person really. You
Because
know,
I think I don't want to get cocky or anything, but I think I'm starting to pick up the try.
yeah,
I'm nowhere near, like I'd say I know what's going on, but I know roughly what's going on to at least
Yeah.
try the demo,
okay.
if that makes sense. But I'd never go nowhere near live yet.
Yeah, personally, I think it is down to the person, to be honest, mate. If you feel comfortable and you think you can go ahead with it, then at the end of the day, it's still only demo, you know. But
Yeah.
With race option, you have to deposit real money for you
Yes.
to open a demo with them, or you can go onto pocket options. I think it's pocket options.
Yeah, I went with Luke on that pocket option. I think he got on with it a bit better than me. So.
Yeah. Pocket option. There's loads of different ones you can use, but yeah, with race option is just as good, mate. You can use the demo with them, but yeah, demo, it's again personal preference. But what I found was, I thought, oh, it's not my money, I'll just fucking fan it around and just do whatever and anything with it. So therefore, what I did, I went over to my real account, but I was only trading £1 trades. Yeah, so it's the mindset, the connection between you and that trade is totally different, I think. So because, you know, even it's only £1 of your money, it's still your money, and obviously you want it to win. Therefore, I thought, well, me personally, I think I was putting more effort and concentration into it. Whereas with the demo, you know, in psychological in the back of your mind, think, oh, you know what, if I blow it, whatever. It's not real money. It's only a demo. It's only practice. It's good to practice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to push whichever one you want. I just think
It makes sense what you're saying, though.
for me,
Definitely.
it's just real money was nice.
It's like a safety blanket in it, the demo.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, I guess, and with real money, it's only £1, you know. So if you take 10 trades and they lose, it's not great, but it's only 10 quid sort of thing, you know. It's because at the end of the day, the better you can, or the more frequent you can play with real money, when you're then playing with 50, 60, 70 grand account size, you need to sort of keep a cool head and not lose your shit. So again, it's come back down to mindset. All that stuff is whenever you're ready, really, mate. If you think you're ready, everybody's, like I said, everybody's different. Everybody knows their own mind, really.
And would you still say you recommend, like, I know you do 5 minutes, but for someone like myself, it's still very new. Is it definitely 1 minute, 3 minute max?
5 minutes would be safer. You know,
safer.
You're giving it more breathing space to do what it wants to do. That's my personal preference, personal opinion. 1 minute is quite volatile. Yeah, it's obviously 1 minute. Yeah, because you've literally got, and just remember, guys, this was literally purely based off Sean's analysis. So this really is for Sean. Yeah, we all understand it. I think it's quite easy to understand the concept of it, but it's built for the way he thinks, the way he trades. So if 9 out of 10 of us don't understand it, it's not an issue, because it was purely based for him. It's pretty much customly built for him, the way he thinks. That's the way he trades. Yeah, again, like I say, we all understand it, whereas we should be getting in, but that is the biggest problem is timing. The entry points is literally key with the 1 minute. And if you get it wrong by a little tiny small margin, it will go wrong, and you'll be locked out of it. So, for example, that sort of prime example there. So these candles here, these here. So 1 minute, you could have, I don't know where it opened, obviously the top of the body candle, and it obviously closed there. So whether it went, we don't know until, you know, if it went up to there in the last sort of 10, 15 seconds, and that could have taken you out on the 1 minute. But 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, on the 5th minute, it did push down the way you wanted it to go, if everything lined up. I haven't got a try on, obviously, at the moment. But yeah, that's a prime example. Look at the difference between, you know, that sort of small gap you're playing with there, really. That's your 1 minute. Look at the gap between there and there. So it's a bigger gap. You're giving it enough breathing space to do what it wants to do. So even if, again, that's the 5th minute there, isn't it? And then look at the difference between from there now. If we were going to take a trade from that one, down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to this one here, 50 minutes. Look at that. That is the massive clearance. Imagine having that on race option. You got in up here, drop, 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 drop. You finished all the way down there. Yeah, so again, it's just personal preference. This is gold, by the way, so you do get big drops and big moves on this. So again, I haven't got a try on, but I've got a try on. So yeah, that was the perfect trade. Yeah, resistance, resistance. It's hit resistance. You can see the red bar. You know, this a small candle shows signs of weakness, because obviously if it was strong and it wanted to push up, we would have ended up here pushing through. Yeah, it didn't. It failed. Yeah, so signs of weakness. Yeah, obviously, and the wicks show it's trying to push, but it's just failing. There's too much sellers pushing down in the market. All Forex is, guys, is a massive game of tug of war. Yeah, sellers versus buyers. Yeah, we've got an indecision candle here, or a doji. Yeah, wicks either side, and what do we get? Flat top. So 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute. Yeah, and if you were fast enough, you could have identified wick, 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 indecision. You could have then, as that one was finishing, you could have taken a buy here. Yeah, because we've got an indecision candle. We've got a massive support line there. Wicks again showing signs of exhaustion. If it was that strong, the body would have ended up down here, or down here, or down here. Yeah, further down. Would have been pushed through. It didn't. Flat bottom, enter here, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes, 4 minute. We ended up there. Obviously, clear winner.
Because you saw, sorry, bud, just because I just got them for the last 4 weeks before it went back up, because they're both sort of almost pinging off that support band.
Yeah.
Because there's some sort of pattern there, would you then predict that it is going back up again because it keeps pinging off that one there?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And then you get that last indecision candle, and you're like, right, now it's going, and that's why you probably call the call there. All right, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The more wicks you can have like that, it just shows the body is trying to push through, but it's failed 4 times. It's tried to push through. It's like you and your mates trying to knock a door down. Yeah, just 1, 2, 3. Tried 4 attempts. I thought, oh, fuck this, give up. You've gone home. Yeah, but it does work the sort of similar ways, such as, where are we? Not a great example. Maybe this one. Yeah, so here would be your mates trying to knock this this wall down, or the door down. This one here, yeah, trying to push, knock, 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 knock. So it's tried 1, 2, 3 times. What happened then? Another 2 of your mates came. So there's 4 of you now. Obviously, you had enough manpower to push through. It didn't quite obviously go that far, but I'm sure you understand the concept. So it's just, that's all it is. So if it's tried 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and there's a massive, you can see that green. Let's take away that green support line there. You know, that is a strong support line.
Yeah.
So therefore, like you said, yeah, you just identified yourself. We've got an indecision candle. Yeah, it's showing obviously it doesn't know which way it wants to go until we get our confirmation of the flat bottom. Well, then away it goes. It's pushed through. Yeah, so whereas if you'd have taken just a 1 minute candle, that's all you're playing with, just that little tiny boxes. Again, you know, each candle is 1 minute. It's quite tight, isn't it, compared to 5 minutes? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the difference in size. You're playing with 5, so there's a lot more breathing space rather than 1. So 5 minutes from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the size of that box. We're playing with just this one. Look at that. That's bloody tiny. That one there. Even that one. Yeah, pretty much. You just take that. That's obviously a 1 minute candle. Let's take that and compare it to a 5 minute candle trade. It's pretty much needing a triple the size of it. So it just shows entry points on race option. You entered there, and it's just pushing, 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 and it finished up there. So it's nice to see that, you know, when it happens and it pushes that far. So I hope that helps, guys. I'll finish it there. It's 9 o'clock, so we've been on 90 minutes. Any other questions? Any go live sessions you follow? HFX, typically Brandon Boyd and Dr. Lee. I think everybody knows about them with HFX. They're a lot to do with market structure. A lot of stuff I've gone over really, but times 10. Obviously, they're far more knowledgeable than me. They'll go over market structure, loads of different things, support resistance, brake, what's it called? Brake and retest. But yeah, Forex side of stuff. I just do the banker stuff now. So if anybody needs any links or stuff, I've got a lot of videos on the banker stuff. But if anybody needs anything else, any videos off YouTube or any other questions, guys, let me know. But thanks for jumping on. I'll catch you next week, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
guys.
cheers.
Try, mate.